Just a while ago, I learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded. Now you might be asking, how do you solve a Rubik's Cube without even looking? I'll show you. So in blind solving, we use this thing called a Spef's lettering system, which means that each piece on a cube is assigned a letter. For the edges, the letters are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, and then U, V, W, X. And for the corners, it's almost the same, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and then so on. That's really important for blind solving because you need it for memorizing where the edge each piece goes and cycles as well. So in blind solving, there is this thing called an old Pokemon method. It is where the cube has a buffer position, which in old Pokemon is B and M, and you have the swapping position, which is D and E. So what you do here is you bring any piece to the swapping position and do a T-perm to swap the B and D. So in this case, the buffer has to go to V, and then V has to go to L. So what you do is you bring V up to D by doing D2 and L2, then do a T-perm to swap and do L2, D2. So then this is solved. And then the next one is this has to go to L, which then you bring the position of L up here to swap by using a T-perm and then move it back down. So in this scramble, we can see that the buffer now is blue and orange, which means it has to go to H, then it goes to J, then it goes to N, then it goes to K, then it goes to I, then this goes to X, this goes to F, and then this goes to A, and this goes to D, and then this one goes to S. From here, the cycle is ended and the edges should be solved. So let's do it. So first one is H. You bring H. All these setup moves can be done intuitively. You can figure it out by yourself. And then we have J. Then we have N. Then we have K. Then we have I. Then we have X. Then we have F. Nearly forgot there. Then we have A. Then we have D. Then we have S. From here we can see flipped. What you do in this case is you remember V, and then you have to know it goes to O, which means it flips this way. So if we follow it now, VO, V, and then O, and the edges are solved. When you have an odd number of letter pairs, which means that it is either 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, so on, you have to do a parity, which is an R-perm, which goes like this. So for the corners, the swapping position is in V and the buffer is E. We do the same thing as the edges. We make the memo for the tracking of the pieces. So let's do it now. This goes to M and this goes to L. This goes to H, and we can see that this piece is the buffer, which means that the cycle is ended. So we have to create a new cycle. You can choose a random piece, but in this case I'll choose I. This goes to O, and then this goes to I again, so the cycle is ended. So we have to create a new one. Yeah, so and then it is V, and then B, and then back to P. And then the cycle was ended again because we reached the buffer piece, like our cycle piece, sorry. And if we follow that instruction, we should be good to go. So how you would swap these two pieces is you do a Y-perm without the front and NF, which goes like this. So following the words we just memorized, M, then it goes to L, then it goes to, then it goes to H, then we create a new cycle, I, then we go to O, then we go to, we go to I again. The second cycle ends. Then we go to V. Then we go to B. Then we go to P. And that's how you solve the cube. So if you want to learn how to memorize the letter pairs, I would recommend using mnemonics to make the letter pairs. So for example, so this is the buffer and it ends. So for VL, I would recommend vil. So that's how you remember two words in a letter pair. So vil, V, and L. So how I learned 3x3 blindfolded is the first day I typed words into Notepad and then I solved the cube without a blindfold. And then the second day I typed words into Notepad and solving the cube only looking at the Notepad where the letter pairs are and not the cube. The third day I memorized the words and then I solved the cube while looking at the cube. Then the fourth day I solved the cube completely blindfolded. This doesn't have to be 4 consecutive days, you can do it in weeks or months, but I prefer to say it in days. Okay, all of those information might be a bit too much for you, so I recommend watching JPerm's video on Old Pokemon method. So yeah, you can go watch that if you don't really get this thing, but this is just a brief overview of how Old Pokemon works. But yeah, that's how I solved the 3x3 blindfolded. Right now I am switching to the M2 method, which is way faster than the Old Pokemon method, and I would want to do blindfolded in comps next time. So yeah, I got my time down to 2 minutes, 3 minutes I think. But yeah, be sure to subscribe. I know this is a really random video, but yeah, it is pretty nice to make these kind of videos. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye. First successful solve.